Welcome back to Eating Out. My name is Gaurav. Naam to suna hoga. Now what you can see behind me is the chef's theatre. Yahan par the best chefs in the world who have restaurants in Dubai come here and demonstrate their cooking skills. It's time right now for Vineet Bhatia to teach you some Indian cooking, like I told you, with a twist.
Vineet Bhatia, coming out Vineet. And he's also got his head chef John with him. Good evening.
Hi Andrew. Good evening everybody.
Nice to see you. Good evening. A big round of applause.
Hey John. Hi. Good to see you. What we're doing today for you is a smoked rump of lamb, and that's served with some mashed potatoes. Now what makes our mashed potatoes different from everybody else is the way we cook our mashed potatoes. And we're going to serve that with a sauce made of bones of lamb reduced down to a sauce which is flavored with mint, and we're going to make a little foam with lemongrass. And we're going to serve that with some samosas with lamb.
Will a few select people be able to have a taste?
Yes, I would love people to come up and I can just taste along as we go. If somebody wants to volunteer, a couple of you, anybody wants to come up? I think cooking is all about fun. It's all about life. It's about enjoyment. It's about cooking for your friends and for your families. But it's very important that you demystify how you cook Indian food. People think it's a big mystery box. What do you do? There's so many things happening to it. It's very important that you understand that food is all about love. It's all about care. It's all about passion. And when you cook from your heart, most importantly. If you've got to believe in yourself. And once you can do that, everything falls into place. There's nothing wrong, there's nothing right, but it's personal taste. The first thing we're going to do is the lamb rump. It's from the leg of lamb. There are basically 4 types of marinade. There's red, there's yellow, there's white, and there's green. Now the base for marinade is basically yogurt. So it's yogurt, blended with some chili powder, some turmeric powder, some garam masalas, some salt, lemon juice, ginger paste and garlic paste. And you rub it onto the lamb, you massage it, and you keep it for a good 6 hours. It has a nice smoky feel. And that is smoky feel because of charcoal. So you burn some charcoal, you put it onto the pot, add some butter, some spices, and you cover it. So the smoke which comes off gives it a flavor. Can you smell that? Want to taste that? It's fine. It's only for 4 of us.
Are we going to taste it?
Yeah, it's fine. Just go on. You got to get natural to the food. Put your finger in. Can you taste the smoky flavor? Try it, Andrew. I wish the camera could see or taste it, but you've got these tasting panel here.
I think we've got a question here then.
Sure, please.
The smoking process you described is done before the marinating, just to the lamb? Or?
After you marinate. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to let John, if you can just seal that for me, and start cooking it. We talk about mashed potatoes. Potatoes, everybody loves potatoes. Around the world you go, they all like their potatoes. Whenever you boil potatoes at home, next time, add a bit of salt, add some turmeric powder, add some red chili powder, a pinch. If you like it much more spicy, you can add more, it's your personal taste. Add some cumin and coriander. Now what that does is when you boil the potatoes with all the spices and you cook it through, all the flavors go right inside. So when you bite into the potatoes, it's not just potatoes, but a very strong and a very nice flavor of the masalas which seep into it. So the flavors stay on for a lot longer. These are small tricks we use in restaurants to get better flavor into our food. Here the same thing is done, but we added some saffron in that. So the Indian saffron is very auspicious to have, very rich, very lovely to have. So we're going to have saffron to go with that. Okay, that is the sauce made from lamb bones. It is based on a dish called as a Rogan Josh, which is again a North Indian dish. It is slow cooked lamb on the bone ideally with lots of spices, in terms of cumin, cardamom, fennel, black cardamom, cloves. It is like a yakni or a stock, but we actually cook it there with just bones. Now to finish the dish off, we have a little bit of lemongrass foam. It's basically just lemongrass. It's lemongrass with a bit of garlic, a bit of green chili, put into a pot with a little water and boil. And to accompany that, if you look at the dish as such, there is a lamb which is quite soft, it's succulent, it's moist. The mashed potatoes are again very moist, they're juicy, and then the sauce is very smooth, velvety. So you need to have some bite. You got to tickle your palate. You got to tease your palate. So you need to break it down with something which is crispy. And for that, we're going to have some samosas here. Now if you want a dish which is darker in color, then you add probably more cumin and more coriander because they're darker shades. If you want something more lighter, then you have things like a turmeric. So you want a bit more vibrant. So you play on them. And lastly, but not the least, is the garam masala powder. This people should always remember that when you use garam masala powder, you always add them last. A lot of the chefs or people at home, they add the garam masala and say, oh, let's cook it a lot more longer. What that does is all evaporates because it's already pre-cooked. It's been roasted and powdered. All the flavor goes away. So again, fresh herbs always go last. And garam masala powder always goes last. And always taste. A lot of people make a mistake by not tasting and saying, yeah, we put it on, they assume it's all done. I think you have to keep tasting. I think cooking is about science, it is about understanding. It is, once you understand the basics of cooking, it's very easy to adapt. It's very easy to chop and change, add things, take out things. But the basics have to be very strong. Once you have that basic understanding, you can probably do that. John, can you cut the lamb for me? Like I said, you have to put a finger into the pot. You cannot not put a finger. The spoons and all are perfectly okay, but I think you have to put in, you have to taste. If you don't taste the food, you don't know what you're serving the guest.
You're right, it's interesting, it was just a completely automatic thing you did then, wasn't it? Lamb out, finger in.
I think you cut that for me.
Cut it.
Yeah, cut them into 4. Yeah. I think most of the recipes which we do now are also in the book. Our book got launched in Jan in London, and we have it here. And it's all detailed in the book. It's what people like to eat. It's very important that you respect people around you. You respect the culture. I mean, what we cook here in Dubai is a lot different from the way we cook back in London, because the demand is a bit different. The taste buds are a bit different, so you have to adapt to wherever you are. You respect those things around you, you respect the culture around you, and you come and gel into it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming down.
Vineet, it's always like this with you. There's always more people on stage than in the audience at the end. Thank you so
pleasure.
much. It's a real pleasure. John,
Thank you.
Great to
Thank
see
you
you
very
again.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just like the first 2 years, even in its third year, Taste of Dubai has been a lot of fun. In fact, I thought it was bigger and better this year. But jab tak aap ye episode dekh rahe honge, tab tak Taste of Dubai will be over. But not forever. It's going to be back next year. So do come in and enjoy yourselves at Taste of Dubai. Tab tak ke liye aapka dhyan eating out rakhega. To bas ek baat yaad rakhiye, life mein kabhi bhi, if you like it, just bite it.